Currently reading Tax-Free Wealth by Tom Wheelwright. Our family worked really hard to get out of debt. Getting out of debt freed us opportunity to think, space, margin. This book is actually something I'm reading because we are inspired entering our second act, which I talked about second act last week, and becoming entrepreneurs, looking for self in our second act, which is totally awesome. Tim and I have been hardworking employees for our entire lives, but raising money smart kids has created a teenpreneur in the house, through the steps of managing his own business, serving his customers well, has inspired all of us that any one of us can become a business owner. You have something that you are passionate about, you can step into your second act, serve people well. Tim, his second act, photography. My second act is this teenpreneur's business on the back end and the photography business as well, because there's no greater gift than being able to serve your family in a way that promotes their business and uplifts their business. And there's tax advantages to doing that as well. And also financial coach, teaching financial classes and having group coaching, individualized coaching, helping people get to this side where you are debt free, you're out of debt, and now you're moving on to wealth building and doing work that you love. I think that there is no greater gift in the world. And what I'm learning, when you have more margin, you're not under constant attack from the bills that you have to pay. I never felt I was under attack while we were working to get out of debt. I never really felt that I was under attack, but getting to the other side, we were blessed enough to get out of debt and put away a 3-month emergency fund right before COVID. February 2020, we were out of debt at that point, and we had put our 3rd month of emergency funds away in our savings account. And then COVID hit. I remember actually saying to Tim, do you think we really need a 6-month emergency fund? We both have good jobs, and I don't think that we're at risk of losing our jobs. Do you think a 3-month emergency fund is sufficient? Dave Ramsey, a 3-month emergency fund is acceptable if you have 2 incomes. If you have 1 income, then he recommends 6 months of an emergency fund. And COVID hit, and you saw how that all panned out. Businesses started shutting down. By the grace of God, we were able to keep our jobs and continue business as usual. The kids came home to school. I'm not saying it was easy, but we were not harmed by COVID. And we were so blessed. We felt so blessed because we know other people were not so fortunate. Our tax planning throughout the year. If you're an employee or a sole proprietor, small business owner, you carry the burden of paying the taxes in this country, because there's like 4 quadrants that Tom talks about. On the opposite side is the large business and the investors. And because of the work that they do, they create jobs. I will oftentimes hear the rich need to pay more. And I think it's like they're basically saying the people on the right side of the quadrant. So the business owners and the investors need to pay their fair share. But they do, because they create jobs. So they should have an opportunity to take advantage of the tax laws, and investors as well. So if you're creating housing, affordable housing, get an opportunity to take the greatest tax deduction. And that's what this book talks about. It talks about, from a business owner and an investor perspective, there's not much that you can do if you are a W-2 employee, minimize the dollar amount of taxes that you pay to the federal government each year. Because Tim and I'm confident of this, if you can be trusted in the little things, you will be given so much more. I absolutely believe that wholeheartedly, and we have seen it personally. Previously done videos about how we tithe and how we were not able to tithe, and then when it became clear to us that we both realized in our heart that we are called to tithe, and then we had to kind of navigate that space. So we really could not tithe. Our youngest was in daycare, and that was taking like $1,000 a month out of our paychecks. So we gave what we could. I think at the time we probably gave like 5% instead of 10%. And he came home to us, and at that point we were able to start tithing. And he actually, the last year before kindergarten, came home and he stayed with us, and he had a good routine. We all worked from home. He had a routine, and it was probably the best thing for him. We started tithing. We have had moments in time where money was tight, and we saw God show up. So I have previously shared those experiences as well. And if you're interested, I could share more. That's not to say if you tithe, you're going to win the lottery. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that if you believe in your heart that as a Christian, we are called to give 10% to God because it's all His to begin with. It doesn't belong to me. It belongs to Him. And He just asks that you give 10% back to His work, to His mission. And He will bless the rest. He will bless the remaining 90%. And He has over and over and over again. That doesn't mean that we don't have to be good stewards with our money. We still have to be good stewards with our money. There's limited ways that you as an employee can minimize your tax burden, right? So I have it down to a science. I have it in an Excel tracker, and I look at it at the start of the year and quarterly to make sure that we're on track so that we don't owe taxes and that we're not getting a refund, because I don't want to lend the government my hard-earned dollars for free. I refuse to. But I also don't want to owe any money come tax time as well. So if I think last year I was within like $500. I think I owed $500. So that's fine. That's fair. So I actually have a tracker that I keep, and I put in like our earnings, and I put in our deductions, and I put in our credits, and I have it fancy calculator. I know, surprising, right? Shocking. I am the nerd here when it comes to the budgeting piece. Like Tim's the free spirit, I'm the nerd. So I put all the systems together, and that is an area that I actually am really excited to help his business as well as TJ's business, getting those systems in place. And it wouldn't have been possible if we were still strapped down with debt. It would not have been possible. Amazing. There's limited ways that you can avoid federal income tax if you are a W-2 earner. Like, you carry the brunt of it. So because we've been blessed, and I'm confident it's because we've been good stewards with God's money, we've been blessed year after year. Promotions and raises, it has been such a blessing. But then you look at that bottom line that you're paying to the Fed each year, and it hurts because I feel like they're not good stewards of our money, and that really hurts. So I want to make sure that they don't get a penny more than they are owed, because they don't deserve it. If they were good stewards with it, I would be like, this is like a good blessing to give to the Fed because I know they're going to do good things with this money, but they don't. They waste it. They spend it on programs that are completely anti-biblical. And so that we're going to leave that there. This book is actually more for if you're interested in becoming, if you are an investor, I'm talking like if you are an investor, have money, extra money, you're out of debt and you're looking to invest your money. And as well as if you are looking to grow your business, this is a good book to read, to understand the philosophy behind how you can protect your money and your wealth. That being said, you will always need a tax professional. And I recently had an issue where my sister, who is a self-employed, told me that she couldn't take a tax deduction. And I was like, I'm pretty sure you can because it's in this book. Like, and she's like, well, H&R Block said I couldn't. And I was like, well, you probably want to deal with somebody who actually knows the tax law, like Tom Wheelwright. Like, he has a network. So I shared that with her. But anyhow, I hope that this was helpful. I hope that it was inspiring. I hope that I have given you some inspiration that no matter where you're at in your debt-free journey, maybe you're not even there yet. Maybe you think that you're normal and life debt is just a part of life. Maybe you feel like you're doing okay because you can pay your bills and you have a job. Maybe you feel like you're strapped and maybe you're not happy in your job. Wherever you are in your journey, I want to encourage you. And I was so excited to start our Financial Peace University virtual class this morning and starting the journey for people to get out of debt. It's not too late to join. You could join into week 2 if you'd like. It is a great investment. We could catch you up at week 2. I probably wouldn't recommend joining after week 2, but if you are interested in joining, I'll have a link. I have a bit.ly set up that's FPU 9923 if you're interested in joining. I think it's a $79 or $99 investment, and I can guarantee you will see a return on investment in the next 12 to 18 months. If you are hungry to get on a budget and get out of debt and build wealth, that $79 to $99 investment, you will see a return on investment 10 times. I have no doubt about it. So, all right, guys, have a good weekend. Take care.